Okay. And Gilberto, remember your microphone is muted right now. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Today I have a free day. I work in a service company, and I I'm in the spending that they talk me and tell me, hey, you need do that or something like that.
Okay. And so they tell you what to do, and you do it. You work in the service industry.
Yes, it's a electrical company.
Okay. So you work in an electrical company.
Yes.
Awesome. And maybe today I had a free day or a day off would sound good. So I had a day off would be probably the most common way of saying it.
Yes.
Okay, but good.
Mhm.
And all right, I guess let's get started with today's class. Anatoly, can you read the title and the next few lines?
Mhm. Job interviews. 2. Today we will learn job interview vocabulary, practice the "What's your weakness?" question from par anecdotes, practice asking each other questions and give each other suggestions.
Good. Okay, really good pronunciation. And Anatoly, can you ask Gilberto the first question?
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
wait, hold on. So, Anatoly, can you ask
okay.
Gilberto, and Gilberto, can you answer?
Okay.
Okay. Gilberta, if you had to ask an interview question to a potential employee, what question would you ask and why?
Well, maybe, um, what is your interest for having this company?
Okay, I think this is good. We would change it a little bit.
Okay.
So instead of saying for having,
Mhm.
what could you say?
Okay. For be part of this company, I don't know how.
Okay. Um, we'd change the preposition still,
Mm,
and we'd want to make this into the gerund.
being okay.
Yeah, and the preposition should change.
Okay.
What preposition do you think might work?
Okay. For women for interest. Um. Um.
Anatoly, can you help him out maybe?
Of being part of,
Being.
I think, but I'm not
Not
sure.
quite. This preposition starts with an I.
Okay.
In
Uh-huh. What's your interest in being part of this
Being
company?
part of this company. Okay.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question?
Okay. What is your interest in being part of this company?
Yeah, good. And Audie, welcome to class. Audie, how's it going?
Everything's doing good, teacher. How are you?
Okay, I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. Um, nice. And let's have Audie, can you ask Anatoly the next question?
Um, Anatoly, brainstorm some question you never want someone to ask you in a job interview.
Mhm. Okay. Mm. maybe if a new uh, HR manager asked me about problems on the previous job, it couldn't be appropriate question, in my opinion.
Okay, it wouldn't be
Appropriate,
rhetorical.
inappropriate
Yeah.
question.
Asking about problems from my previous job, it wouldn't be an appropriate question. Okay, that's good. Um, all right. And Audie, what about you? What question would you never want somebody to ask you in a job interview?
Um, on a job interview, I never want HR manager asks about my family and private my privacy.
Nice. That's a really good answer. Family and my privacy. And what about you, Gilberto?
Um, well, could be um, have what are the first value for the person, or I don't know. I'm referred to responsibility, proud, and this type of things.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Uh-huh. If the okay, uh, are you? It's like are you responsible? Something like that.
Okay.
Are you responsible?
Responsible. Okay.
Yes.
And solid. That's a good question too. Um, and all right, nice. Does anybody have any questions on this page?
Mm,
Okay. Let's go on to the next
next.
page.
Okay. Yes.
And let's start with Anatoly. Can you read the title and the words?
Vocabulary. And words? How many words?
Just all of them.
Formulated, qualifications, adapt, adaptable, personable, handle, fair, dependable, creative, logical.
Good. You did a really good job. Some difficult words. Personable. Personable.
Personable,
Good. Personable. Adaptable.
adaptable,
Qualifications.
qualifications,
Good. And formulated.
formulated,
Good. Formulated. You did a nice job there. Okay. And does anybody have any questions about any of these words?
Mm, maybe fair. What is fair?
Okay. And who can explain what fair means?
honest, uh,
Yeah.
honest people, honest person.
Yeah. Maybe
Fair.
unbiased.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Opposite liar,
Okay.
lie.
Yeah, maybe not the opposite of lying. I think it's like unbiased without having like a prejudice. So allowing everybody an equal opportunity. So like,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Honest. Okay.
And Ken, welcome to class. Ken, how's it going? And Ken, are you there? Okay. Well, does anybody else have any other questions? Any other questions about any of these words?
I have a question about formulated. Formulated um related to this topic. What is it?
Related to this topic
Yeah.
of job interviews? It's like,
Yes.
what did you do at your last job? I formulated a strategy to deal with rowdy, I don't know, maybe with difficult consumers.
Okay.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
so formulated is like I created or, uh, yeah, created I guess is a pretty good synonym.
Okay.
And any other questions?
Mm,
I'm not sure about adept.
Good question. Who can explain what adept means? Does anybody know?
uh, synonym about expert
Hmm.
or synonym of expert?
Um, yeah,
Mm,
expert or skilled.
efficient skill. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and I think that's good. Maybe, well, Ken, are you there? Can you hear us, Ken?
Yes, yes, now I connected.
Perfect. Ken, can you make a sentence using handle?
Okay, handle. Let me handle this.
Yeah, let me handle this. This is good. All right, and so what's it mean, Ken?
How can I say? Let me control this.
Yeah, let me deal with this,
Deal
maybe.
with this.
Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. And hopefully nobody else has any other questions. Did pretty good there. Let's go on to the next page. And let's do some reading here. And let's start with Gilberto. Can you read the
Okay.
title
Okay.
and this first part?
Okay. Ideas. Prepare for the "What's your weakness?" question. Most people overthink this question and give a canned answer like "I'm too much of a perfectionist." Others give a genuine answer but still fall short of what this question is really asking. It's not about admitting your weaknesses. It's about showing how you overcome them. What system have you put in place? What progress have you made? Include those thoughts to strengthen your answer.
Good. Strengthen. Can you repeat
Strengthen.
strengthen?
Strengthen. Okay.
Yeah, strengthen. And yeah, really well done. Ken, can you read the next part?
Okay. Example. Weak. My weakness is that I struggle to run efficient meetings. Strong. I sometimes struggle to run efficient meetings, but I've worked to improve by drafting an agenda before every meeting, sending it to all participants, and then follow up with a recap and clear action items so everyone knows what to do moving forward.
Good. Really good pronunciation. Correction items. Yeah, that sounded great.
Thank you.
And yeah, so let's have. Well, does anybody have any questions here on this? Does anybody have any
In the
questions?
first line, cannot.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Okay.
it is what?
What's a canned answer? Does anybody know?
Cannot answer.
Refusing. Denying.
So it's like uniform, really bland. So like canned food is often it's all the same food. It's mass produced, it's not original, it's not really creative. It's just canned food. It's basic, bland, uniform. So a canned answer, a can to anything is just something that's like it's really not well thought out. It's not creative. It's not original. It's just bland, regular, normal answer that's really common, maybe.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Ordinary.
Yeah, ordinary for sure, but in like a negative
Okay.
sense.
Okay, kind of is like a simple answer or something like
Yeah.
that.
So a
Okay.
canned answer would be like a bland answer, like a non-creative
Okay.
creative answer.
Okay. Okay.
Really common, basic,
Common, simple. Okay. Basic.
yeah,
Okay.
simple. Um, and can you repeat canned? So it sounds
Can't.
like canned.
Can't. Okay. Can't.
Yeah, like canned. Canned.
Can't. Can't.
Prepared, maybe best for this sentence.
Yeah, prepared to like pre-prepared, but like just unthinking answer. It's kind of a silly answer. But good. Let's try an Audie. Are you there? Welcome back.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So Audie, can you try and give us an example? So Audie, what's your weakness?
My weakness is sometimes I get s- I get uh, I get bored with my job.
Okay. And so, like we said here, it's not about admitting your weaknesses. It's about showing how you overcome them. What systems have you put in place? What progress have you made? So sometimes I get bored with my job. What are you doing to, yeah,
Mm, but I always try my uh, I always try to make my tasks. Can I say tasks?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Uh, the my responsibility, what I have to do.
Okay, my tasks?
Yeah, my taxes.
Tasks.
Tax.
Tax, tax,
Tasks.
tax,
The
tax,
tax?
uh,
So,
tax.
try saying x. Yeah,
Yeah,
try to get that K sound. But so we say
tax,
task,
tax, tax,
tasks.
tax.
Close. This is a tough one. Tasks.
Yes,
Maybe
I
say,
have problem with
my,
this.
yeah, maybe my jobs.
To make my I all but I always try to make my job responsibilities. To make my responsibilities um interesting. Oh,
Okay, so you always try to make
no.
your responsibilities interesting. How?
Yeah, no, it's not a good answer for an interview. Yeah, I always try to make, but I always put my responsibility at the first place.
Okay, we would say I always put my responsibilities
At the first place. First. I always put my responsibilities first.
Good. Okay. And so, uh, yeah, I think that was good. And maybe Ken, can you try an answer too? What's your weakness, Ken?
My weakness is I'm very shy. So I started learning English online mainly for improve my English skills. However, it's also helpful for overcome my shyness. The first class I attended, I couldn't talk so much, but now maybe I'm getting familiar with being online, attending online class, so I'm getting uh, I'm getting over such shyness
Nice. That's
now.
awesome. With online classes, so I'm getting over my shyness now. That's awesome. That's really great.
Thank you.
And Mac, that's a good answer as well, Mac. Maybe try to think of a way that you would get that better too. Good answer. Try to think of a way you would improve it. And maybe Anatoly, what about you? Can you tell us what's your weakness?
I could name as a weakness maybe overcome concentrating on definite task. And I'm trying to improve the ability to manage many tasks using some applications like Schedule, Microsoft Outlook options, etc.
Okay. So I'm trying to improve my ability to manage many tasks using some applications like schedules, etc. Good. I think that's good. And all right. Well, does anybody have any questions on this page?
Just comment. The main purpose we should expect this question in the job interview, and the main purpose to show as a weakness your strong side, to show weakness and possibility to cope with that weakness.
Exactly. So yeah, you're trying to show that you're aware that you have weaknesses, but also show that you're trying to fix them, and what you're actively doing to fix them. And so Mac is asking if being like a workaholic can be a weakness, and I think it can, but it's similar to like this answer. So I'm too much of a perfectionist. So I'm a workaholic. It can definitely be a weakness, but it is kind of a really common answer. I think it's good to actually be genuine with like things that you're actually have as a weakness. And then, maybe actually talk about how you're trying to fix them. But you could say definitely workaholic, because I'm sure that's a good answer. But does anybody else have any other questions?
No.
Okay. Let's go on, and let's try reading this. Let's start with Gilberto. Can you read this first part?
Okay. Brainstorm 3-part anecdotes. Your interview is as memorable as the stories you share. Many people have fascinating experiences but forget them when they're on the spot. To remedy this, have 3 anecdotes ready to plug into your interview. Your anecdotes should follow a simple format.
Good. Okay. Maybe anecdotes.
Many anecdotes. Okay.
Can you repeat anecdotes?
Anec- Anecdotes.
Yeah,
Anecdotes. Okay. Anecdotes.
good.
Okay.
Anecdotes.
Anecdotes.
And fascinating.
Fascinating.
And your interview is as memorable.
Is as memorable. Your interview is as memorable.
Good. Nicely done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Audie, can you read the rest of it?
Problem. What was the situation? Action. What did you do to solve it? Result. What changed afterwards? With this format, you can adapt your par anecdotes to fit a variety of questions such as tell me about a time you worked with a team, or when have you struggled most?
Okay. And can you repeat a variety of questions?
A variety of questions.
Good. A variety.
A
Nice.
variety.
Okay. Good. Does anybody have any questions on this page?
What is anecdote, teacher? Anecdote.
Sorry, what does anecdotes mean?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. And who can explain? What's an anecdote?
Maybe story or such kind of thing.
Own stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. An anecdote is a story, for sure. Okay. And any other questions?
No.
Okay.
How you use afterwards? Afterwards, it's what changed afterwards.
Okay. So afterwards, it's just after.
Okay. Okay. After. Okay.
Okay. Good. And any other questions? Okay. And let's try this. And let's start with Audie. Actually, Audie, can you ask Ken the question?
Ken, what was the situation?
Situation right before taking English exam, like TOEFL.
Okay. Exam. So, what were you feeling right before taking the English exam? Like, what were the...
Nervous.
Okay. I was nervous. I think that's good. So right before taking an English exam, I was nervous. And so, Anatoly, imagining on this same situation. So try to imagine the next question. What did you do to solve it, Anatoly?
Try to think about good experiences.
Okay, did you do anything else to try to solve it?
And don't think about reason why you're nervous, so nervous. Think about positive side of passing exam. And don't
See?
don't concern about negative results which could be.
Okay. So I thought about the maybe thought about passing the exam, and I tried not to think about possible negative results.
Yes.
Okay. Can you read those sentences one more time?
I tried to think about good experiences. I tried, yes, I tried don't think
I tried not to
about
think.
not to think about the reason why I was nervous. I though thought about passing the exam and tried not to think about possible negative results.
Good. And so, Anatoly, can you ask Gilberto this next question?
Alberta, what changed afterwards?
And Gilberto, you do have to unmute your microphone because I did mute you when you were talking on the phone, Gilberto. No worries. So you just have to turn your microphone back on. It should be at the top of the screen.
Okay. Así.
There you go. Oh. Okay, maybe Audie, can you answer the question? So
Okay.
in this situation, what changed afterwards?
Uh, who? Okay. Um, for who is the question?
Last question. What
So
changed
last question.
afterwards?
Yeah. And so we're talking about right before an English exam, you were nervous. You tried not to think about the bad or like about failing. You tried to think about passing the exam and things like that. So yeah, Audie, what changed afterward? What happened?
That's okay, teacher. Gilberto has can answer now.
Okay.
Gilberto, go ahead, please. Okay, I can answer it because he was talking. uh, what changed afterward? I finally I finally I succeed with the exams with a good score.
Okay, I succeeded.
I succeeded in the exams with a good score.
Good. Maybe instead of saying with a good score, by getting.
By getting a good score.
Yeah, okay. I think that'd be good though. Really nice job. Okay,
Thank you.
and does anybody have any questions? Any last questions? Okay. All right, well, let's go on to the next page then. And let's try this one. And let's have Ken. Can you read the comic? Ken, are you there? There.
Okay. Oops, I lost the screen. Okay. It would start with 5 minutes of peeling, lint from dryer's traps, followed by an hour of pressing a lightsaber handle against things and switching it on. Then I'd retire to a life of luxury.
Good. And the bottom?
Okay. When people ask me to describe my dream job, I'm never sure how realistic to be.
Okay, good. And so, just in case you're wondering, this is a dryer trap. But let's ask, maybe Anatoly, what do you think about this comic? What's happening here?
It was that.
So this is the most important part, right at the bottom.
When people ask me to describe my dream job, I'm never sure how realistic to be. Don't know.
Okay, maybe Gilberto, Audie, or Ken. What about you guys? Do you guys have any ideas?
What is that for, teacher? Dryer traps?
What is what?
What is dryer traps function?
Okay, so this is a dryer trap. It's not really important. It's just kind of an absurd desire. So cleaning lint from a dryer trap. Like the lint is the stuff in clothes that gets trapped in the dryer trap. So again, when you're drying your clothes, the lint gets stuck here, and so when you peel it out, it comes out all together, and it's just something goofy that maybe he, for some reason, likes. And then pressing a lightsaber handle against things and switching it on is, again, kind of absurd, just because there are no lightsabers, but they're just destroying things. So cleaning lint, destroying things, and then he'd like to retire. So this is kind of an absurd job, and so that's what his dream job would be. And so, yeah, who can explain, this last comment? Ken, what about you? What do you think?
The meaning of this punchline or something?
Yeah, what's this last line supposed to mean? Why is it funny?
Maybe the I'm sure I understand what dryer traps or lightsaber is a Star Wars lightsaber.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe yeah, many people tend to say unrealistic thing as their dream jobs.
Yeah. So I think that's exactly what it is. So when somebody asks you about your dream job, it doesn't really have to be anything that's actually a job. So it's like whatever you imagine would be the most fun and that you could actually make money doing. So these things wouldn't be real jobs, but he'd love to get paid for them and retire in luxury. So when somebody asks you about your dream job, so something that's a dream, yeah, he's just never sure how honest he should be. Does that make sense?
Oh yes.
Okay. So yeah, peeling lint from dryer traps and pressing the handle of a lightsaber against things and switching it on, they're not jobs, and they could never really be jobs. So, but when somebody's asking you about your dream job, it doesn't have to be real. So you could say anything you want. I want to skydive for a living. Although I guess people do that. Anyways, so does everybody kind of understand? Does this make sense now?
Yes,
Yeah.
teacher, it makes sense.
Okay.
One thing I noticed that these fonts are difficult for reading. Maybe it is similar to handwriting text.
Yeah, it's especially because it's all capital letters. Which
It
makes
needs to read every letter
yeah.
in this comic. It is
So
much more difficult than reading usual typing text.
yeah, definitely. And it's supposed to be, I think, a little bit more like handwritten text, but it would start with 5 minutes of peeling lint from dryer traps, followed by an hour of pressing a lightsaber handle against things and switching it on, and then I'd retire to a life of luxury. When people ask me to describe my dream job, I'm never sure how realistic to be. But good. And maybe, Anatoli, can you ask Gilberto this question right here?
Alberto, how honest do you think you should be during a job interview?
Well, I think mm, When you are not honest, uh, the interviewer can be this, and you need to be objective. Okay, you need to be just objective and be honest.
Okay, you need to be objective and honest. Maybe you need to be
Yes.
objective when you're not. Um, yeah, so when you're not honest, the interviewer can notice, and it's probably not a good thing. Okay. Um, but oftentimes people ask questions in interviews, um, like this question: describe your dream job. Um, and so most people would have a different dream job than what they imagine would be a good answer. There are things like what are your weaknesses, where people can kind of, maybe lie a little bit and be not completely truthful. So do you think it's better to be completely truthful, Gilberto, or maybe change the truth a little bit?
Okay. You should how honest do you think you should be? Well, you should do. I don't know. Really, I don't know
Okay.
what I need to
No,
say.
you did a great job. You had a good answer. Audie, do you agree or do you disagree?
Yes, I agree because uh, the interviewer or the the new company must um, have to know who we are.
Okay, the interviewer or the new company has to know who we are. If you said the interview and the new company, have. But if it's
Have.
or, so one or the other,
Uh,
he
okay.
has to know. The interviewer or the new company has to know. But good, I think that's great. And so, does anybody have any questions on this page? Okay, let's go on to the next one. And let's have, I guess, Audie, can you read this comic?
I consider all my previous Instagrams, Facebook posts, tweets, and Vines a form of performance art.
Okay,
Job interview social media excuse number 28.
good. Ken, what's happening here?
Instagram, Facebook. Out. I means that interview is right. This I.
He's being interviewed.
Okay. And who's saying this? I consider on my previous Instagram.
Okay, so this man is saying it. So,
Okay. What? Maybe he posted a lot of things on Facebook, tweet, and a form of a performance art. Mhm. Maybe he want to appeal his social media activities to this interviewers, but maybe it will slip. Maybe that's gag of this
but
comic.
okay. Yeah, maybe he posted a lot of things. I'm not quite sure what you said after that.
Yeah. He's appealing his activities on social media to interviewers, but it will fail, or it's gonna slip. Is that the gag of this comic?
I don't think so. I think it's a little bit
Okay.
different.
No. Okay.
I'm not. I'm still not exactly sure what you mean. I think I missed something key, like the key verb. Um, So maybe he posted a lot of things that he is embarrassed.
Embarrassed. Ah, yes. And he's called it that he's performing performance art.
Yeah, he calls the posts performance art
Mhm.
in order
Okay,
to
yeah.
what?
In order to appeal to any interviewers. I mean, the boss. Sorry,
In order to what?
appeal to boss.
Appeal to both what?
About his activities, grade, or something like that.
Okay, I think in order to make his posts less personally embarrassing,
Okay.
trying to maybe excuse himself. He's saying, all these things, they were just performance art. I was performing. That wasn't really me posting those things. So all those embarrassing things that happened, that was just, performance art. And so it's a way of, you know, taking the responsibility off of himself for doing all these things on Facebook and Twitter and stuff. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Does everybody else kind of understand this? Does this make sense to everybody else?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe it is a feeling of perfectionism when interviewed person said about everything which he did as a perfect things, incredible, nice creations, etc.
I'm not sure what you mean.
He said that all which he has done is perfect.
Okay. I don't think he says that. So perfect. Performance art is just like, acting or showing something off. And so performance art would be like acting. So he's saying that the things he did on the internet were just fake, not really him. He's trying to make it seem like he's a better candidate than maybe he's shown on the internet. So he's done maybe embarrassing things, and he doesn't want his boss or this potential boss to think that those things that he's done on the internet reflect badly on him. Does that make sense?
Yes, understood.
Okay. And let's have Ken. Can you ask Anatoly this question here?
Okay, Anatoly, do you think that interviewers should look into prospective employees' social media? Why or why not?
I think it is not appropriate subject for conversation during the interview because social media is part of private life.
Maybe we'd use an article here. We're missing an article. What's missing?
I think it is not an appropriate subject.
Yeah. And instead of saying I think it is not, we'd use an auxiliary verb. So
I don't think it is an appropriate subject.
Exactly. I don't think it's an appropriate subject for conversation during an interview because social media is a part of private life. Good. Gilberto, do you agree or do you disagree, and why?
Well, I'm agree because well, I think yes, it's private life, but well, it's a way that uh, it's a way where the boss can be if the employee is a good subject. For example, if the person is for a service, and in his Facebook and Instagram the person is unkind or gross, uncut, something like that. Well, the boss uh, could be this person is not good for this job or something like that. But I agree. It's a life, private life,
Private. You were right.
private,
Private life.
private. Okay, private life.
Yeah, but the boss can realize that the person might be
Unfit.
unprivileged.
Okay. Yes.
Good. I think that's really good. And okay, and Audie, can you read this little hint right at the bottom?
Hint: there is an application called Social Sweeper that can automatically remove anything dubious from your social network.
Good. Can you repeat dubious? Dubious.
Dubious.
Good. And what's
Dubious.
dubious mean?
False. Something false.
Dubious is a little bit different. It's like questionable. Of questionable nature, potentially bad would be dubious. It's like a synonym could be sketchy, which is kind of slang. But yeah,
Suspect.
suspect, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sure. Good. Good. Thanks for that synonym. Okay. Yeah. And I think that's good. Does anybody have any questions here on this page?
Is it a real application?
Yeah, it is a real application, so you can download it, and it takes out photos with like red Solo cups and beer bottles, and it takes out anything that you post that has a swear in it, things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's a tool for people who are interviewing for jobs. But yeah, and so actually we're just about out of time. I do have another class right after this. If you guys want to join, I'd love to have you. But thanks again for the class. It was nice having everybody, and see you again soon.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
See you.
Goodbye.
See you.
Bye.
See
Bye,
you.
guys.